Hello, Miss Heather. Hello, Marie. I'm really doing this live because I really want to open this and it's just faster to do it this way because then I don't have to edit it. Plus, I thought it would be fun. If you don't know about this deck, there's a lot of options to pick from. So a lot of the cards have duplicates to triplicate choices to make on the cards, even in the main deck. But then there's also an expansion that gives you more choices on which cards you're going to pick for that particular card. And so I thought it'd be kind of fun to be able to see what those different options are and what I might end up with. Now, my birthday is in September, so this is not a harking for happy birthdays, although I appreciate happy birthdays. My birthday is in September, and I believe this was ordered actually before then, but they literally just came in today. My friend Patrick had bought himself and myself one for my birthday so that we could kind of go over it and experience it together. His came in yesterday and mine came in today. And I've seen some of these cards because of him looking through them, but I've not opened or gone through mine at all. So I am super excited just because it looked like a lot of fun to try to choose which one you were going to keep in, which one you were not. So happy birthday. I don't consider late birthday presents late because I'm terrible at on-time birthdays. I just consider them extended birthdays. So I am happy to have my birthday extended into February. So that's what we're going to take a look at. This was a deck that I don't know when it first came out because Patrick had there was another version before this that is a really thick cardstock. So I don't know a lot about this. Again, I didn't do my normal research and go deep dive in to decide if I was getting it. This was a surprise gift. He only told me about it early when it was looking like it was going to be delayed a bunch. So then he told me. So I didn't do a ton of research into this deck because it wasn't a deck that I was purchasing. And so there are, I think, other versions before this. This is the linen cardstock version. That's my favorite kind of cardstock. So without further ado, this is let's see the actual, okay, I thought this was interesting. Now, I know, so one of the things that I do know about this deck is that it was plagued by a lot of difficulties in coming into being. I think that there were a lot of issues in just producing it in one. I know a whole entire batch, I think, of cards were lost. They were dropped off at the wrong place, and then all of the bottoms of the boxes were damaged. I think that the creator has had a terrible time with production issues, which is really too bad. I don't know anything about this. I think the second edition, this was from a pre-order, but there's something that's now still a pre-order for the next edition that's, I think, going on right now. So I don't know, Heather. I don't have any clue. I did peek at their website, and it does look like there is a pre-order for the next edition, whatever that may be. I don't know if this will say what edition this is. Well, we'll see. I'm not sure, but I liked that they were just look, this is just wretched, right? Sometimes it happens. And they were trying to find workarounds. Apparently that's what this is, because this little card says our Terra boxes are not perfect. It can have a small damage in the box or cannot open easily. And this was, again, there were just a few from this issue that they were only able to salvage a few of these to be able to get a hold of. Now, I think they're in a pre-order for a different edition right now, but I don't know about that. So you will need to do your own due diligence. Again, this was a birthday present. I have a lot of sympathy for the difficulties that they were dealing with, because it didn't sound to me like it had anything to do with the producing of the artwork. It's just production issues. But I mean, I love this. It's like, you know, they were having a hard time getting this, and I can see that. Like, I couldn't pull this open. But look, they stuck a ribbon on it. What does it say? Just take the wrapping bow and pull the sides of the ribbon as you see illustrated. All right, well, let's do it. And see, it pops right off. So, you know, that's called being ingenious and working with a difficulty, and making it work out. So I love that kind of stuff. I'll keep that and put that back in because that was a tight box. Okay, so this just says a tarot deck by, here you go. I don't know. A tarot deck by this. I don't have any clue what that says. It has moons on some sides, on the other sides, which I like. It's a sturdy box. Again, obviously it's tight. I'm not going to put it all the way on because I don't want it to get stuck, but apparently that's an issue. And they were trying to think of a way to deal with it, and I appreciate that. Okay, so here's that. It's wrapped in a paper thing, which is nice. Plastic ones cut into the sides, so I appreciate that. And here we have, and I'll zoom in here. There is a, I don't, sorry, folks. I don't know if there is, I think there is going to be an ability to order a book for this, which because I saw, I don't think it was a PDF, I think it was an actual book, and I saw a couple of the entries on the site, and the book looks really interesting, and is probably one that I would get if I'm correct about that. But that might have been the Somnia Tarot too, so please don't quote me. Again, I didn't purchase this, so I don't have all the deets. We're just here to look at cards. It says you're holding in your hands the Terra Volatile. And it says this unique set has a few alternative cards. A few. It has a lot because he also got the Terra Volatile expansion. This unique set has a few alternative cards, so it allows you to build your own personal deck. In addition, there is a new suit included called the Vessels, the transfiguration of the classical element Aether, or Ether, I suppose, also called Quintessence. You can find the symbology, meanings, and interpretations at terravolatile.com. I keep wanting to say tarot volatile, but it's Terra. So here's cards on the back. I do know, because Patrick had told me that cardstock is my idea of perfection, that it is a 320 GSM black core linen plain cardstock, which is 310 probably is my absolute perfect, but this feels like absolute dream perfection, and I cannot wait to shuffle it, because I know all of you out there that like the really thick cardstocks. Not a fan here. I'm a riffle shuffler, not a fan. Thank you, Goth Princess. It was Somnia Tarot just printed a guidebook, so erase that. But you can get, it looks like, interpretations on their website. So that's exciting. Let me pull some stuff out of the way so we can zoom in. What are we going to do here? So we can zoom in here. I've got a constant nose tickle. It is not, I don't have a runny nose or anything, but my allergies have been just driving me bonkers. Okay, I will try to riffle and bridge it. You know what it feels like? Just out of the beginning, it feels like there was, and I have it, the Baba Studios did a edition of the Victoria, it was the, what language was it in? There was an edition of the Victorian Romantic Tarot that was a black core cardstock. Absolutely stunning. It was given to me years ago, and I trimmed it. People were horrified that I trimmed it, but it is my probably like unicorn cardstock. It was the most bendable but sturdy cardstock that you could ever dream of. And yes, kind of like Oozy Pagan Otherworlds. Yes, that's what this feels like. but we'll see when we get to the shuffling. Okay, so again, please do your own research on this one. This is more just me having fun. This is more me having fun and picking out cards. This is not like an official walkthrough. This is the first impressions, and I didn't even do research on it. So we're just having fun together. Um, so I'm not maybe getting all the details 100% correct. Take this as just friends hanging out and looking at cards. But there are extra cards in this original deck. I don't know how many cards are in this box. But there are extra cards for certain of the cards. Then they did an expansion. So this is the expansion box. And it's just like in a regular tuck box here. And so these are extra cards that can be swapped into the deck as well. So these are some more extra cards. So like there's an extra High Priestess called Intuition, an extra Empress called Fertility, right? So there are different extras in here. And I don't know how many of these are, but it's a lot of them. So I'm just going to go through this. And as we hit on ones that have extras in it, you know, I'm going to see what I'm going to pick here. I'm so sorry. This may be a super annoying video, but I'm excited. I thought it would be fun to do live. Okay. So obviously, I don't know how to do this other than to have these side by side, because when we get to the one that we know is the next one, we can pick that out. So I don't know how else to do that. So we're going to do it that way. So here we have and I will be picking these cards up again. I know that really irritates some people, but I want to see them. So here we have the Fool. And I know that there is an extra one of this one, and I am really tempted to keep them both in. Now, I will say that under normal circumstances, I don't keep extra cards in decks, but there are some things about this deck that I'm so sorry, that make me tempted to leave some extra cards in. And this is one of those occasions. I kind of like the idea of having, it would make it significator cards in the tarot deck. And I kind of like that. So I think what I'm going to do is build it as I would keep it as a traditional tarot deck. But there might be a couple that I keep out to maybe potentially add in as extras. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Have you ever used a tarot? Now, I do have one other tarot deck called the Shimmering Veil Tarot. That has a Fool and a Golden Fool, and I have left both of those in. So I do have a bit of a history of having a deck with two Fools. So I'm pretty sure I want to keep both of these in. But if I was just creating one deck, I would keep her in because, I mean, look at her. She's really beautiful. And I like female fools because I'm a female. So why not? So if I were to keep one, so I'm going to put this not on the discard pile. Let's put it over here. I'm going to put this on the I might add that in pile. So that's how I'm going to do that. So I'm pretty sure, though, with the Fool, I'll keep them both. Okay, so there's that. So here we have the Magician. We're going to have to check and see. There are two. This is an easy one for me. Okay, so there are two magicians. This guy I don't really like at all. Now, I do like magicians called alchemists, but at the same time, for me, the alchemist would be Temperance. That's just a personal, in my tarot deck, my Temperance color is called the Alchemist. So I would not put this in as the Magician. And I don't particularly like that image. Again, I'm sure people love it, but it's not necessarily for me. And so that one is going in the discard pile. And this one is the one I'm going to keep. He's pretty cool. He is pretty cool. He's got all his implements. I liked it, his eyes. I do really like the kind of geometric shapes and lines that are in these. I don't know how much that, I'm not sure how much that plays out in the rest of the deck, but I do like those geometric shaped lines. So he looks pretty powerful. He looks like a magician. Keeping him. Okay, so obviously we have two high priestesses. I already knew that this was going to be a difficult one for me. So we're going to do a little bit of thinking here in terms, because we actually have two problems. Okay, so let me do something. I'm sorry. Again, I don't know. I'm going to stop apologizing. Nobody's being forced to watch, Kelly. Nobody is being held captive. Quit apologizing. Okay. Okay, so here's my issue. We have two high priestesses. We have two empresses, and we have two emperors. Let's see. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to try to make sense of this. And then here's our magician, right? So generally the high priestess and the magician are paired together, and obviously the empress and the emperor are paired together. This guy cannot stay. Okay, so that's an easy one for me. I'm not a big fan of modern things, and there is some that I'm not going to be able to get away with, but him kind of standing at a microphone with all those like press microphones in there doesn't really do it for me. It's a cool picture. I do think that our painting, it does show like the power of words and the authority of words and the power to control the masses that the words have. So there is a great deal of power that a charismatic leader would have in this card. So I think it's a really cool rendering, but I'm not a fan of the microphones. So, okay, so that makes it a little bit easier in the sense that I have my magician and I have my emperor. Oh my goodness. Okay, so these are both beautiful. These are both beautiful. What I like about this one is that it is more the in nature that really sets apart from the political world of the emperor. So I like that. What I like about her is that she's a traditional empress energy, and she does go with the king really well. I also like that they've named the second card something different so that if you wanted to leave it in, you could, which would leave sort of the ruling power of the Empress, which is what we find in traditional decks that I miss, right? In modern decks, we have sort of this Earth Mother, but in older traditional decks, we have this ruling queen energy, right? That she is going about political power, but in a different way than the emperor does, right? So the emperor is ruling his world. The empress is creating her world, and often through more subtle tactics. So, but because they've named this something different, I could actually leave this in and have sort of a hybrid deck. Yeah, both of them are not looking, but their rulership is different than the male rulership in tarot. So I don't know that that doesn't bother me as much. She's relying on her own powers and abilities to shift. I'm going to put this with the other Fool because I love that card, but I'm going to keep her for now. Let's see. Let's put him here, him here. Now I have the same problem, and I kind of want them to go together. She looks like a high priestess. Look at her. I love the veil. I love the hidden eyes with those beads over the eyes. She looks more esoteric, if that makes sense. Whereas she looks like a female pope, like a papist more, and she's gorgeous. They are both, yes, I think, hello, Patrick. This is all Patrick's fault. I think I'm good. That's what I'm doing, but I'm keeping a separate pile of ones that I would really like to keep. So she looks to me more like a papist. She looks like a seer, right? I'm going to keep her for right now, but I do love her. This going to be wretched. Do I put this in the maybe, put in and have fertility and intuition? I don't know. But right now I'm going to build the 78. Okay. All right. All right. So we solved, wait, and I'm keeping her for now, but that one is a hard one. I have to say the Empress is harder for me than the Empress is harder for me than the High Priestess. Okay. So now it looks like we have two popes. I don't know how to do. I'm so sorry, folks. I gotta quit apologizing. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. If you get the expansion, a lot of them come with alternatives. So here we have two popes. We have the kind of traditional pope here, and we have a traditional pope riding a pig called Dogma. I'm not going to keep the one called Dogma because I don't read the pope. No apologies. I could not speak your language at all, so do not apologize for being able to speak even a bit of mine. I don't see the Hierophant strictly as dogma. That is sort of the shadow side of the Hierophant or the Pope for me. So I am going to keep in the Pope and not have the dogma in. This one is going to be, this is going to be hard for me. Okay. So here we have the Lovers card and the Crossroads card. Now, the Lover's card for me is firmly about choice. If I'm going to look for a love card, it would be more in the Two of Cups. The Lover's card for me is about choice. And in the traditional decks, you're normally seeing somebody who is actually making a choice. It's not generally just two people that are in love. It's about somebody who needs to choose between the winsome lass that might give him lots of fertile children and the more staid wife who might be a very good helpmeet, or it could be between the mother. This one doesn't seem to be the case, but it can sometimes look like a mother and the wife and having to choose. But it's definitely a choice, or sometimes we see Hercules on the road. Sometimes we even see a woman making a choice between two men. So it's about making choices, not so much about, love. So I actually really like the idea of having the crossroads because this means you have to make a choice. You've come to a turn in the road and it's about making a choice, and it's going to have long-term ramifications. You're not going the other way, and now you're kind of committed down this path. So I think for the sake of play, I'm going to keep the Crossroads card in instead of the Lovers, even though that's beautiful. Okay. I believe these are actually paintings that were created for this deck, is my understanding. If I am wrong in that, feel free to let me know. But yes, they're amazing paintings. Okay, so now we have the Chariot, which is my birth card. And so, we got so many choices. I'm going to get overwhelmed. Okay. I'm never usually a fan of chariots because traditional chariots look like they're just sitting there. I like the volatility of these horses, but they also look very skeletal, and it looks like it's one creature with many heads, which is fine and cool. But the problem for me with this one is this charioteer just doesn't look like they're at all paying attention to driving forward with confidence. She looks much more confidently driving. This one looks like it's getting a hair massage or something while somebody else might be driving it. So I'm going to go with this one because I think that's gorgeous and very classic looking. And this is cool, but it doesn't quite feel like the Chariot to me. Hello, neighborhood hearts. Watch me dither over cards. Some will be easy, some will be not so much. This is gorgeous. These are both gorgeous. This next one is going to be the hardest one. I already know because I've already seen that. This one is going to be super hard. This is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that artwork. She's got the scales. She's got the heart and the feather and the scale. She's got sword in hand. She's blindfolded. I will tell you, to be honest, I am not actually the hugest fan. That is not a word. I'm not the biggest fan of the blind justice. I like justice to be open-eyed because they are seeing clearly. Again, I understand the symbology, but I prefer my justices not blindfolded. What I like about her is that she isn't blindfolded. The heart weighing against the heart and the feather is much more clear, and the scales are much more dominant in this picture. And I actually quite like the sword at her feet, and it looks like, what's going on down there? Is that a snake or something? I'm not sure what's going on down there, but this has much more of a motte feel, and I like the title of it as Truth, because that's for me what it's about. So I think I'm going to keep this one for now, even though this one is stunning, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't put that in at some point, but I think for right now I'm going to keep that one because I love having the card just say the truth. This one is going to be wretched. I would like to leave both of these in. Oh, wait, I'm putting, okay, what am I doing? So I guess what I'm doing in my piles, okay, I've got this mixed up. I was wanting to keep cards out that I might actually leave in. That one is so hard. I love her. And I might have two fools. Justice I wouldn't put in with that, and I wouldn't put the High Priestess in with that, so I'm going to put those to the side. Oh, is it a crocodile? Maybe Thothy? Oh, let's try again. Oh, you're right. Yes. Yes, Jalama, that is a crocodile, which I like even more. Okay. I am going to keep that one for now. I'm currently incapable of making decisions, so I'm going to extra appreciate. Okay. You appreciate that. Yes, I'm going to keep that one. And look at these two. Okay. This is, of course, stunning. So I'm not saying any of these cards, well, there's a couple cards I do not like in this deck, but I'm not saying any of these are good or bad. This is just about having to make a choice. This is a stunning traditional hermit. Like, look at him going off to separate and to go inward and to do things. So this is gorgeous. But look at this. She's holding a mask of herself, and she is soul searching, which is what the hermit is doing, is going inward. I find this to be absolutely beautiful and powerful. I know, Nick, I'm going to have to look at the cards that we have left after we get done. I'm going to keep her in for now, even though, my goodness, I'm tempted to keep both of these in as well. I'm going to keep him in a possible keeping in, but I think I'm going to put her in. I think that having a soul searching, which is actually what the hermit is doing, is great. Okay. I know, it's terrible. Okay, so we have, oh, we have another one. No, definitely not. So we have time, because sometimes the hermit is seen as time. Again, this could make a cool oracle card, but what is he doing? Is he eating somebody? I have no clue. Is he eating this little person? Time is eating away at us. I think so. No. Again, I'm all for zombie things, and time does eat us, but no, thank you. That was an easy no. Oh, is that Kronos? Okay. That makes sense, Neighborhood Arts. No, I'm not going to choose that one. It is a tarot deck with options. So it is one tarot deck that had options, and then they made an expansion with a bunch of other extra cards that you could swap in. So it is a tarot, but what they've done is that instead of having all of the extras be named the Hierophant, the Hierophant, the Hierophant, they have changed them to different names so that if you wanted to keep them in and create this giant hybrid deck, you could, if you wanted to. or Saturn devouring his sons, apparently. But no, that's not going to be my higher. That's not how I see the Hermit. So no. Okay. Wheel of Fortune. This one is easy for me. I'm actually not a huge fan of traditional Wheel of Fortunes. They're gorgeous. I studied them a lot in medieval literature. I understand that what they are saying, and this is actually a very pretty one. But I really like this. It looks like there is a book that I love that is called it's a series of fantasy books called, I don't know which one is the first one. One is Strands of Starlight. One is Maze of Moonlight. Don't read them if you have issues with traumatic things, because there's definitely a lot of trauma that's happening in the books, but they're really fantastic. And in that, the elves, because there are elves in this kind of version of the time frame, it has to do with Church Inquisition, but there is a world in which there are elves there, and the elves like dance time, like they are the dance that they do in down on Earth and up into the sky realm has an effect energetically on the world. And as soon as I saw this, it just felt like she was dancing time into being, and she's moving the wheels of time there. And so that's why I'm going to keep that. Nobody needed to hear any of that, but that's what I thought of when I saw that, even though I actually do like this depiction. So I'm going to keep Fortuna. Oh, look. Okay. So this is not for this, but this, we do have 2 strengths. That is really beautiful. Okay, so my first indication, my first instinct is that I'll choose this one. She looks awesome. And there's a strength and that sort of pillar Amazonian strength there. Obviously, this is a very classic look at the strength of battling the lions, battling our inner self and into submission. But I don't see strength as much that way. I don't interpret it that way. It's really much more about the fortitude and the strength that comes. Now, she still has a lion here, and I think she might have her foot on the lion. No, he's just lying there. So I just think she looks strong, like she's next to that big pillar, and there's just a sense of fortitude about her. So I'm going to keep that one. That wasn't too hard for me. Again, I really like on some of the cards with these sort of geometric shapes that are drawn in. I quite like that. Okay. Next, we have the Hanged Man. That's the only Hanged Man that we have. So no choices there. Very classic. I do like all of the ropage that's going on. He almost looks like he's hanging upside down on a ship or something. But again, pretty traditional Hanged Man. It works. We don't have to choose. No choices. Ooh, now I do like that we have a Prudence here. But I wonder if that means that all the virtues are here. I can't remember from Patrick going through it. I think all the virtues might be here, so I may want to keep the virtues in. I don't know if any of you use a Minciotti deck. So a Minciotti deck is an old style of tarot deck that has all of the virtues. It has all of the astrological signs. It has extra element cards. Hopefully I'm saying all the extra cards. This is not something outside of tradition to have extra cards in a deck, which are really gorgeous. So I'm going to keep this out and see if all the virtues are present, and I might then add the virtues in. I really like this depiction of the virtues, and the 2 heads here are pretty cool. So I'm going to keep that as a possibility. Okay, put that Hanged Man back. Oh, now we have Death. This is going to be a hard one. Hello, Nina Marie. Much love to you in Missouri. Hello, Raven Song. Yeah, I know, but I might keep the virtues in. That's what I might do. Okay, let's see. Now, death I know is going to be an issue for me, and also maybe added cards. Okay, so there are three alternatives, or there are three cards for death. This is absolutely gorgeous, right? This is very classic. We've got the heads on the ground, body parts. We've got I really like that it looks like branches growing out of the skeleton. This is a gorgeous death card, and I love this as a standard death card. But be ready to be wow. I'm sure most of you have probably already seen this. So it's not a surprise. Look at this. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's not focusing. Come on now. It doesn't like me picking them up. Look at this rebirth. Like out of the earth itself, it's like rebuilding. Now, obviously, we could do like death and rebirth. I know that we use death and rebirth in the single card of the death, but we could have death and rebirth as separate cards. I know, Nina Marie. Okay, so what I'm doing, if you're just joining in, is I am making a straight tarot deck, but I'm keeping some to the side that I might add in as extras. So which we're I think gonna end up with a big pile. Okay, what I'm gonna do is keep this one because I think it's absolutely amazing. So I'm going to keep this, but I actually think I might keep both in. So I'm going to keep that in the maybe. Now, then there's a third one that is called the Misery Collector. Now, this is pretty cool. It reminds me of the concept of the sin eater who's taking on the sins, taking on the misery of the world. They aren't bad people. They're people or creatures that are taking on the things that we cannot carry, right? That is really cool. And again, something that I would consider leaving in as a separate card. What are we taking, if this came up in a reading, what are we taking on ourselves that maybe we should, or maybe we shouldn't be taking on ourselves? That we are, that could be really interesting in a reading. I'm going to have such a big pile of me. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to it. Okay, we're going to come back to it. Okay, here, Temperance, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be putting art in, although I really wish it said like balance or something else like that. I just think she's beautiful, and she looks like she is literally mixing fire and water. Like, look at that. She's got fire in her hand. She's got water in her hand. This is more traditional with the angel and the mixing of the water. This is very traditional, and it's very beautiful. So I do like this one a lot, but that one really caught my, I just love that she's literally looks like an alchemist. This is a sorceress, and she is mixing those and she's making something new. So I'm going to keep that one in, but I do think that's a gorgeous card. Okay. Okay. Does the date, I don't know. You know what? Jalama, I don't know. We could look it up online and see. I have no idea. I don't know, but we can look it up later, I guess. Okay. Here we have the devil. Oh my goodness, this is going to be long. Okay, I'm trying, folks. Let's see. So we have 1, 2. I love that tower. We have 3 devil cards. Okay. My instant reaction is this one is gorgeous. I do love this devil card. I like that people are just seen to be sitting around in there. They're giving over their power. They're giving over their authority over here. This is more of a little bit more, BDSM with the chains and the masks and the belts, and for some people that would be a plus, so that's not a problem. But it's not necessarily how I see the devil. And the torment is really cool. but it's just not just how I would interpret it. So this to me is much more how that's gorgeous. Like that is absolutely beautiful. So I am going to keep that devil in, and I wouldn't keep these in as extra cards, but really cool. Again, nice to have those options. We just have one. No, we have two tower. Okay. Well, goodness. Okay. Um, okay. This is classic tower. I love this. Lightning strikes, nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. You've got to deal with the aftermath. What's going to get burnt down is things that I've grown out of control, blah, 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 right? That's very traditional tower. I love that image. What's cool here is that we look to see that we have the falling that we normally see people falling, but we're honed in on that person that is in that moment of falling, which is really powerful as well for a tower card, right? Because that's often what the tower card is about, is how we're feeling in this moment that we have just lost all of our stability. The world is turned upside down and we are plummeting, down the side of the tower, right? We feel like that. So this really depicts that sense of free falling and not being able to get our bearings. And I like the hubris, right? Because that's like that stuff that doesn't matter. And so what's getting burned away are those things that don't matter. So this is really cool, but I really love, I'm a big fan of traditional tower images. It's one of those cards I look at in decks. So I think I'm going to keep this, but I wouldn't say that I would never swap that in, because I do think the concept of that is really cool. But I'm going to keep that one. Okay. This is beautiful. They're both beautiful, but this to me doesn't quite, I don't know. That one doesn't quite blend with the rest of the cards. Almost that coloration makes it stand out from the rest of the deck so far, whereas this kind of is much more cohesive. It's also just beautiful. I do like a traditional star card. Obviously, traditionally the woman would be naked, but this just doesn't feel like it's the same part of the same deck. So I'm not going to keep that. You could, again, leave that in as an extra card. Dream. And to me, dream isn't really even what star means for me. Star is about, for me, is about navigating, not really dreaming about it, but actually fixing your sight on the star and navigating your way out. So I could see this as a different card, but for now, I wouldn't even put that one in. Okay. Okay. Now we have two moons. We have two suns too. Okay. Sorry. Here we have two moons. I think this is a gorgeous classical rendition of the moon. Sorry, folks. I do like to see what's going on. It helps me see. That's real. You're right. That dream does. Maybe check the number. That may be. Oh, nope. It's star. That was. I thought for a minute maybe I was looking at the wrong alternative card. I'm going to keep this one in. I do like the concept of the labyrinth. Oh. This is a hard one. This is gorgeous. Classic moon gorgeousness. But I really like the labyrinth, finding the Minotaur at the center of the labyrinth. Going inward is very labyrinthy. I like the big, bold moon on the top. I'm gonna keep the labyrinth. They're both. This is just cool. I think maybe because there's so many things going on with this deck that I'm really allowing myself to just kind of play with it and let it be different. So I think what I'm gonna do is keep the labyrinth, and I'm gonna keep this and possibly keeping both. So this is my pile of ones that I might possibly come back and decide if I want to add them in as well. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Oh dear. Okay. Now we have two sun cards. I really like that we don't just have a baby on a horse, which is not my favorite image. I really love this one because of all of these animals. Look at all the animals here. There is a sense of abundance, but it's called poetry. I don't think, well, poetry, you have to, as you're a poet, you're mastering your craft. I like all the animals, but the sun to me is not about abundance in tarot. In Lenormand it is, but for me it's more about mastering of the self, but I don't see really what's going on here that is mastering the self. I like the sunflowers. I'm not a big fan of cherubs. Almost has a little bit more of a Three of Cups vibe to it. I just like the animals here. I'm going to keep this poetry one because poetry is a skill you have to master. And you're drawing from your knowledge, you're drawing from self. I also like that there seems to be a bit of androgyny here, and I don't know if that's even an appropriate term anymore, but you have a very masculine look, but then also very feminine look. That blending of the two selves into one, meaning your full mastery of self, not one or the other. I'm going to keep poetry. Sorry. That was a more difficult one than I thought. Oh wait, do I want to possibly put this into? No, I'm going to put that over here. I'm going to keep the poetry one. They're both cool. Okay, sorry. Okay, now we just have two. We have two judgments. I already know for myself that I would. Okay, that's a weird sheep person. Ooh, that's like Jesus on the head of a lamb. Okay, that's a little creepy. It's interesting that both of these have sort of a sense of the sacrifice. That's to traditional judgment. For me, the judgment, and I understand the concept of the judgment, we die, we come and we lay our good and our bad deeds at the feet of the cross, and our bad deeds are burned away, and what's left is our crown and our glory. In a modern context, that is wonderful. It's one of my favorite cards that you have to stop and assess. How did you get to where you are? How did you, what are the choices that you made? What are the choices that other people made for you? That's how I see the judgment. Now, if you're not staring at them close up, I'm not a fan of, I don't love either one of these, but I have to decide which one I'm keeping. I do not like people heads on animals. It's one of my own pet peeves. This is pretty cool because it does look like a resurrection, because I would think that almost looks like him. And so there is more of that sense of somebody resurrecting. So I think I'm going to keep this one, because again, I'm just not a big fan of the Lamb of Christ with like a lamb with Christ's head on it. It's just kind of odd to me. So we're going to, oh, this is going to be hard. Okay. All right. So now, now, these are both cool. Okay. I really like this one. She's beautiful. I'm not sure, and I know this shows up in some esoteric decks, like with the breasts shooting out lightning or sunbeams. So I know that has esoteric symbolism. But this one is very powerful. I like a world or a universe card that feels very, very powerful. And this feels very powerful. So I'm going to keep that one, even though I think they're both actually beautiful. Okay. Not too hard. That wasn't too difficult. Okay. So do I pause here and contemplate what we're going to do with the main? So I have a single majors, right? So this is not with any extras in it. I have a picked out. Is there any that I do really like? That Crossroads. I really like the Truth. I really love the Soul Searching. I love Fortuna. I love Fortitude. Meh. I love this Rebirth card. I love the Art card. I like that Devil. I like Tower. I like the Star. I love the idea of a Labyrinth. I like the poetry. I can live with the Rebirth. And I love that universe. Okay. Okay, so I feel comfortable about these cards. I'm not going to make the decisions about adding until the end because I want to shuffle this as a 78 card deck. Neighborhood Arts. The universe makes a nice echo with the Hermit. True. True, 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 true. Yes, that does, doesn't it? Okay, I feel good about those. I feel good about those. Are there any? Let's just give it the ones that I put aside that I have to. This is beautiful. This is really cool, but I don't think I will add it in, but I do want to look at that a little bit more. This is gorgeous death card. I'm still highly contemplating. The ones that I most likely might add in are the Two Fools, because I like the concept of having significator cards. And I'm possibly going to leave in the Death and the Rebirth. Like, these are very strong possible add-ins. I didn't see the rest of the virtues unless they show up later. I didn't see the rest of the virtues. So I don't know that I'll add those in. I don't think I'll add those. So I think I'm just going to add these to the, I'm going to have too many piles, but that's okay. Okay. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to add these two in, but we're going to keep them out for right this minute. All right. Okay. I can move on now. I just needed to, now let me see if I need to put these in order. Okay. Here we've got Pentacles. Here, let's get the cups. Let me put these in order here. Cups. Boy, there's a lot of cups. Okay. A lot of cup potentials. What's after cups? Coins. So then we'll put the coins in. And then what's after the coins? Does it go to the sword? Then it goes to swords. And then it goes to wands. Okay. This is, are we hanging in there? Oh, am I on my own in this? Don't ditch me. Don't ditch me. Okay. Let's see. All right. So now we're obviously starting with the cups. Beautiful Ace of Cups. I think our only Ace of Cups. So we have the Ace of Cups. We're obviously keeping the Ace of Cups. Now I do know this one has, I thought there were more than, yeah. So you have three options here, which are beautiful. I love that they have this for people. There are three choices. You can have the male and the female, two females, and the two males. They're all beautifully rendered. I will be keeping in the traditional two, only because I read the Two of Cups as two energies, different energies coming together to become stronger. Obviously, that happens with two males, two females. We're all a blend of energies. But I do like the traditional look. So I'm going to be leaving this in, but I do love this, and I like, they all look fantastic. So that's great options. Putting that there. What we have next, oh, interesting. Patrick, I remember this one with Patrick. Is it just these two? Threes, yes. So we have a very traditional Three of Cups. I really like the look of this. I like the statue in the background as well. I like that they don't look like they're partying. They look like they're maybe at a, like they are priestesses at a statue, maybe doing a fertility rite, or coming together to do magic or a spell or something of that nature. So I really like this, but this is pretty cool. I like them both, but I like this inclusion at the statue. It feels very coming together to do something. Good. We do have something. Patrick's looking at the guidebook. The three women are having a ritual. See, it looks like that. I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to keep that one. This is really cool, though. I do like that image. I think Patrick kept that one. Okay. All right. So now we have the Four of Cups. Do we only have one Four of Cups? Yes. So we have one Four Cups. That's fine. I do actually like this. They don't look like they're bored. I am not a person who reads the Four of Cups as boredom. Four is a number of stability. And so it's a stable place in your emotional landscape. And so I like that this person doesn't, if it will focus, come on now. They're just reading a book. They're still and quiet, having a moment. This is very much in alignment of the way that I read the Four of Cups. So that's gorgeous. Okay. Here we have the Five of Cups. I think we just have the one. Oh, that's beautiful. I do like my, I do like that Six of Cups. Okay. Let's stop here. Five of Cups. Again, very traditional. He's looking at the cups that are fallen over. He's got cups that are upright on the other side. Oh, we don't have an option, do we? No, we don't have an option. So there we go. Five of Cups. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Oh, Cassie says it is Artemis of the Ephesians. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. So now we have two Six of Cups. They're both pretty, but here's my issue. Okay, I like both of these, but this one almost looks like Five of Cups, you know, where you kind of have the two people out in the snowstorm. This looks more like, you know, we were just talking in class today about the Little Princess. The Little Princess is a book that was also a Shirley Temple. I know there's a Little Prince as well, but the Little Princess is where in the Shirley Temple movie, her dad has gotten injured in war, but they think that he's died. And so Shirley Temple's character is sent to a bad place. Well, she was at like a boarding school, but now that she can no longer pay for the boarding school, she is of course turned into the, you know, Cinderella and drudgery up in the attic. And there's the friendly neighbor across the way with the monkey who decks out the attic space all absolutely beautiful for her while she is sleeping. That's what that looks like. I'm going to keep that one. Okay. And this just looks too Five of Pentacles for me. Okay. There we go. Too much information, but there you go. Okay, so now we have the Seven of Cups, which is the only Seven of Cups. It's beautiful. It's kind of traditional. No issues there. Seven of Cups. I really love this Eight of Cups. Very much like the veiled, the half light and the going off on the journey. I actually really like that they don't have any clothes on, because this is an inward journey in which you have to leave everything behind. So that is absolutely beautiful and powerful. Eight of Cups. I love it. This was one of the ones that it would have stopped me. And I know that this is a laughing Buddha. But I'm not a big fan in general of Nine of Cups imagery in Rider-Waite-Smith. I don't read Rider-Waite-Smith, and I just never really liked the imagery. This is supposed to be a laughing Buddha, but it's just not my favorite. So I am definitely going to be picking this one. Still not my, you know, absolute favorite, but it's at least doesn't look as smarmy. Some of the Nine of Cups just, they look super smarmy or something. They're like, what's going on here? But I'll keep that one in. Okay. Here we have the Ten of Cups. Do we only have one? Yeah, it's the only option. It's quite beautiful. I like the old style feel with the kind of working class people. They've worked really hard and created something for themselves. And so it kind of has a Victorian romantic feel to it. I like his hat. So yeah, no choices there, but I'll obviously keep that. So now I know what this deck does have is an option for a princess instead of a page with the expansion, not with the regular deck, but with the expansion. So, oh, there, somebody else can go look at it in case if we need to see something. Somebody can click on that link and look up this one. If somebody has time and inclination, click on or go to terravolatile.com and see if we can figure out if this date has any significance. Oh, this may not be here yet then. Okay. Patrick said the card descriptions for cards in the expansion are not online yet, but they are coming. Okay, so this probably won't be there. I will definitely be looking that up. Okay, back to this. So there are an option to either have a page or a princess. I am going to be adding in the princesses. I really love princess, prince, knight, and or queen and king, or princess, knight, king, and queen. That's something that I do like out of Thoth. And so I'm going to keep in the princesses, but there are pages that are an option as well. So there we have the page, there we have the princess. They're both great page, great princess, but I am going to keep the princess in this case. Ooh, we have two knights. This looks like a knight of a round table. Okay. I don't have any problem. This is leading with the heart, which I really love. I'm going to go with this one. I think of the Knights of Cups as being the most like the Knights of the Round Table. They're off in search of the Holy Grail. And so this has that more of that feel. And I love the blindfold because they are moving forward from their heart. So I'm going to keep this one. Okay. Then we have the Queen of Cups. Again, obviously don't have any choices here on the Queen. I like to see them together. I like both of these. I like that they both look mature. She doesn't look like she's 16-year-old, even though there were many 16-year-old queens. But she looks mature in her power. So I love both of those. Okay. Ooh, this is gorgeous. Ace of Pentacles. So it looks like we don't have a duplicate until we get to the 5. But look at that Ace of Pentacles. Oh. That is really beautiful. I love that. Okay. I know that this does not have an alternate, and I wish it did because I don't particularly like this. But, you know, I can't win them all. Slightly justery, but not horribly justery. So that's good because I'm not a big fan of jesters. I really just don't like his glasses. Again, I don't like bits of modern things, even though I know that they actually had sunglasses a very long time ago and had glasses much longer than we think they did. So I'm going to not let that annoy me. That's the Two of Pentacles. Here we have the Three of Pentacles. Obviously, everybody working together. Oops, sorry, focus. My camera doesn't like me moving cards as much as I get messages about not moving, picking up cards. But in this deck, I told you I was going to do it. I like this. They're working together to perfect their art. So yes. Okay. Oh, let's see. Oh no. Misery Collector says at the left side we see, okay, let's pull this back. Thank you, Heather. Oh no, did I mix them in? There we go. Okay. Misery Corrector, at the left side, we see references. Oh, wait, let me scroll back up. Yeah, let me scroll back up. Or I'm sorry, not Heather, Neighborhood Arts. Thank you for looking it up. At the left side, we see references to atomic bombs and the city of Nagasaki and Hiroshima in kanji characters. Shalama says the same thing. I believe the dates reference the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Therefore, for this alternative card, we wanted to convey the tragic changes and dramatic transformation society endures after a war. Even more, a bombing attack like the one that occurred in Japan on June 6, 1944. Very powerful. I still would say, what one is this? Would this go for? I think this was a death alternative, which is definitely there. And I think you could use this if you then use the rebirth, because I don't know how much rebirth is in this, although we have obviously gone forward even in those countries and continued on. But this is not one I would use as a death card, but I do think it's very powerful. Thank you for looking that up. Okay. Moving forward from that, oh, powerfulness there, right? Um, Here we have the Four of Pentacles. You know, I'm never a fan of the Rider-Waite-Smith Four of Pentacles, but this isn't bad. He does not look like a greedy salesperson or anything. Just holding on to the money because it's not time to put your money out there, your resources. So that's the only choice. This is beautiful. I actually love the Rider-Waite-Smith depiction of the Five of Coins. This is 100% the one I'll be keeping. I actually love, I just think it's really beautiful when you have the church and sometimes you have the stained glass windows and I just find it to be a really beautiful image. This one is okay, but it just doesn't really do anything for me. I love the filtering light. I like the snow falling here. And so I'm going to be keeping that one. Okay, what do we got? We got 2 6s. Now, I have a bit of a problem with Rider-Waite-Smith Six of Pentacles. I don't see the Six of Pentacles as rich people helping poor people. So I see it more of that equal exchange of energy. I do like the angel here, but we do need to help each other. This one is kind of hard for me. I'm not... what I like about the angel is there is that sense of energetic exchange versus just monetary, even though she's obviously casting money about. So I kind of like that. I've never seen that in a Six of Pentacles, so I kind of like that more. I'm going to keep this for now. I'm not 100% sold. I can't say that oh my goodness, I absolutely love either of these, but I think it's interesting to have the energetic exchange that I can tap into. Okay, sometimes you just have to go with the, oh no, what did I do? Have I fine or am I sticking? Okay, it looks fine now. I was getting that quick. Remember one time we had that warning pop up about my connection. So I'm just going to wait a minute. I know we're delayed slightly and just make sure I'm not frozen. I don't think I am. But I'm going to wait till somebody responds whether I'm not, because then, sorry, I know I'm drinking a lot, but I'm talking a lot. I do agree with what Heather's saying while I wait, in case. I do feel this looks a little bit earthier, but I don't know. Okay, not for, I'm just going to keep going then. Thank you. Sorry, I just didn't want to keep babbling. I'm really torn on these. Like I could literally flip a coin, but I want to play with this imagery a little bit. So I'm going to keep it that way for now. Okay, so now we don't have another one till 10. Okay, so here oh no, we have 2 7s in the original deck. Ooh, look at that one. Okay. I like this. It's very traditional, very much doing the work and then having the patience to let that accumulate. So for me, the 7s are about having a foundation and something growing from that. You have to get that 4 going so that the 3 of growth can start to grow. 4 plus 3 is 7. That's how I read the 7s, right? So what I like both of these images, but look at this. Like this is literally growing a tree that has grown out of the body here. To me, this is closer to how I would read the 7 of Pentacles, but I do absolutely love this imagery. You're almost seeing the shadow side. Yes, Patrick said working hard and cultivating versus what you've cultivated taking over your life. So that's the shadow side of the Seven of Pentacles. I'm going to leave this one in, but this is a really cool image. Okay. What do we have next? We have the 8. Is there more than one 8? No, there's just one 8. So here we have, I think this is gorgeous. It is very traditional. I love the traditional 8 of Pentacles. He has mastered, and now he is just putting out those beautifully inscripted coins, each one different, each one unique and masterly crafted. Very powerful, very traditional 8 of Pentacles. So now we have 1 9. We have 2 10s. So we have 1 9. This is really beautiful. I don't see a bird of prey. There is like a bird of paradise or something up here. Very richly appointed, very much like in a walled garden. They've created a place for themselves to focus in on all the things that are important for them to focus their resources into. Very beautiful. I love the draperies on the clothes. We have 2 10 of Pentacles. This is gorgeous. I will be keeping this one likely, but they're both nice. Like you have that sense of inheritance passing down. You have the state behind them. You definitely have that sense of legacy. Actually, I would say more in this one, but even this one, you still have that sort of the patriarch of the family and that kind of passing on to the next generation. I'm actually think I might keep this one. I like this setup. It's just kind of cool, but I like her dress and her hair thing. I'm keeping that one, even though I really like that one. I thought I was going to keep that one. Okay. The cardstock is 320 GSM, black core, linen, perfection. From what I can tell. I haven't shuffled it yet, but it feels like what is considered my perfect cardstock. Oh, look at her. Okay. So as I said, the quartz have an option between the, if you get the expansion, this is not in the regular deck, but in the expansion, you have an option between the page and the princess. I'm keeping the princesses, so it's nothing against that image. It's beautiful. That's absolutely gorgeous. I'm keeping the princesses, so that's that. Easy peasy. We again have 2 knights. Okay. We have 2 knights. Is that a cow? This is a harder one for me. I feel like this is neither one of them looks like they're a workhorse. I like a big like Clydesdale, one foot in front of the other, doing the work, right? On my Knight of Pentacles. Neither of these particularly look like they're dressed to do that. This one just feels a little bit more prancy and ceremonial, where this one is kind of looks like that's too heavy of a person, but he has to keep going forward. So, which is kind of Knight of Pentacles, but now the meaning of the card is more in the horse than in the knight. This looks really sad. The Knight of Pentacles, the horse would have his head up and keep moving forward. I'm going to go with this one. I think I like this person more than this person, but this horse, if it's a horse, it just looks really, it might be a goat. I don't know. I'm going to stick with that one. I do like my knights to have horses. Okay. I don't know if having to hear what goes on in my brain all the time. Look at that Queen of Pentacles. She is beautiful. Oh, I love the horns on the King of Pentacles. Those, I love both of those. So far, the kings and queens have been really gorgeous. So that's that. Okay, so now we are to the swords. Again, beautiful Ace of Swords. Ooh, is this the only two? Yes, but that is beautiful. Where the sky meets the sea. That's the sweet spot for me in a Two of Swords. Absolutely gorgeous. Go inward, go into your mind. You don't need your eyes. Really beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, 2, 3 of Swords. Obviously we have a sort of realistic style of the traditional Three of Cups. But I really like this one. She's wounded in the heart. Things have happened, but she is looking straight ahead. She is going to make her way forward. She's going to learn from her experiences and move forward. That's how I read the Three of Swords. Good experiences, bad experience, they change us and we move forward. So are some of these like the Somnia deck? I have the Somnia deck to do. I was going to do that until this came in. I was going to do that tonight. Okay, I'm going to put that away. Cool, but this is much more how I read the swords. We have 2, 4 of Swords. Both of them are resting. This one does, like, one of my pet peeves about the Four of Swords, even though I really like the resting knight, they very often do look like they're dead. And the Four of Swords wouldn't be about death. It's like a respite, and then you have to go back into battle. So I kind of like this one. He's just like wore out. He has been battled. Oh, the covered face one. Oh, then I will probably like that Two of Swords. I'm actually going to keep this one. It's a different view. You don't always see this with the Four of Swords. I think it says the same thing, but it's very clear that they're sleeping and recharging their energy to go back into battle. So I'm going to keep that one, even though I like them both. All right, so now we have 2, 5 of Swords. This is really cool. So 5 for me is a shakeup number. It's disruptive. It's not necessarily always bad. It's just a shakeup. Whether or not that's good or bad depends. Does someone keep flushing the toilet? No. It's perfectly quiet over here. Raven Song. Is somebody flushing the toilet at your house? Does anybody else hear toilet flushing? No, it's totally silent here. There's nobody else but me and Belle, and she can't reach the toilet. Okay. So there's a shakeup. It's also seen as sort of at what cost. I actually think I'm going to keep this one. I think it's pretty cool. I'm going to keep that one. All right. Let's see. I'm interested to see if anybody else is hearing toilet flushing. Maybe I need to turn my mic off and return it back on or something. Okay, we have 1, 6 of Swords, 1, 6 of Swords, so no choices here, and that's fine. It's a traditional, I like the traditional vision art style of the 6 of Swords and the Rider-Waite-Smith and moving forward on the boat to better horizons, leaving the war-torn landscape behind. That works for me. So then we have 2, 7 of Swords. Traditional stealing. I like the fox here. For me, the 7 of Swords is we don't know what's happening. We need to get more information. We need to dig a little bit deeper and find out what's happening. This works. It's a traditional looking, but I like the fox, so I'm going to keep the fox. Sometimes you just gotta go with it. Okay, this is gorgeous. That is a absolutely beautiful 8 of Swords. I like the traditional artwork on 8 of Swords. She just needs to use her trying to calm herself, repositioning herself. Is it doing it more than once? I need to. Okay, let me see. Let me put this one down and then I'll look because there's no flushing toilets. Oops. So I'm not sure if that affects my microphone. Oops, wait. This one we're going to keep. Okay, let me straighten this. Let me go over to OBS real quick. Yeah, I don't know. You wouldn't even hear my toilet flushing, so it's definitely not that. What can I do? Is it still doing it, or was it just like a one and done kind of thing? I'm not sure. Wait, my mic would be. That just lets me mute. Oh, here, let me push this. Let me see what mic it's pulling from. Oh, let me try to change this. Blue snowball. That's what it should be coming from. Oh, just once. Okay. Nick's like, no. Okay. Is that, oh, I just changed it. It should have been on the snowball, but tell me if that's better or worse. I think no, you could flush the toilet in here and you wouldn't hear it. Even if it was my neighbor, it's way over there, so they couldn't have heard it either. Let me know if this sound okay. That's the mic it's supposed to be on. So at least we changed that an hour in, an hour and 20 minutes in. Okay, we'll move on from the flushing toilets. Okay, so now we are at the 9 of Swords, and we only have one. So here, I like some of this reddish tone. I don't know if you can see. Let's see it. I see it in here. See that? It's almost like an weirdly exposed photograph. I actually really like that. That is gorgeous. And I don't read it as a nightmare card, but it can be, because the 9 of Swords can really be able to exaggerate. If you have fears, it's exaggerating. If you have joys and things that you're doing, it is going to be exaggerated as well. So that it's my straw. Maybe I have no clue. I have no clue. I'm just gonna keep moving forward. Maybe like when I'm taking a drink, it's the straw. Seems like a lot to pick up from there, but who knows? We have solved it. It's my straw, not the toilet. I try to be careful with it, and we'll see if we can fix it. But I will probably still drink again. Anyways, okay, we love the 9 of Swords, or I mean, it's a traditional. I'm happy with that. We don't have a choice. We also don't have a choice with the 10 of Swords. I'm okay with it. If you've watched my channel enough, I don't read the 10 of Swords. It's the completion of the suit of the mind. I don't really see that as somebody dead on the ground. So I've gotten very used to working with the imagery. This is actually, I like better than most. So it's fine. If you don't look closely, you can just see 10 swords. And again, it's not that I have an issue with there being dead people in a tarot deck. That doesn't really bother me. I love zombie things, but it's just not how I read the card. But this works. It's beautiful. Again, I do like the David and Goliath of this page of swords a lot. Right? He had to use his smarts because he didn't have the strength. So I do love this, but I am keeping the princesses. She also had to use her smarts. I'm assuming that is from the Old Testament, where I can't remember the story of this, but anyways, she's also getting what needs to be done. Definitely the challenge aspect of the swords. And there's a departing figure there too. I'm not sure which one we're talking about with the departing figure. Okay. Now we have the 2 Knight of Swords. Okay. I'm going to pick this one because it looks much more airy. Or the 10 of Swords has I would like a departing figure. Okay, let's look. Oh, in the background there. Yeah. Very cool. I'm definitely going to read through the guidebook online. Okay, this one, I am definitely going to keep this one. You can see the wind blowing in the trees. You can see the clouds. This looks very much like it could have been used for the Knight of Cups, right? It seems like crashing water. Definitely to me, this feels more like a Knight of Cups. This looks very airy and very Knight of Cups or of Swords. So I'm going to keep that one. On that was easy. Queen of Swords, come on, my queen. Look awesome. She looks very capable, very no nonsense. I like her. And then we have the King of Swords. Yeah, I've been really happy with the kings and queens. Okay. We are now on to the wands. All of the aces have been really beautiful. We have two. Okay. We have two of wands. This is very traditional. I quite like it. He's setting his plans in motion. This is very artistic, but I actually like them both, but I do like where he looks like he's almost planning out. It's like he has a compass in his hand. Sorry, it's not going to want to focus that close. He has a compass in his hand, and you can see the distant, like he's out on a balcony and he's looking out and surveying the world, and he's setting plans in motion. So I'm going to keep that one. Here we have the Three of Wands. Is that, what do we have here? No, that's a 4. Okay. So we only have one option. Pretty traditional, but I don't mind that. I'm not a big fan of Three of Wands where they're just waiting for their ships to come home, because I think you should be feeding the energy that you've put out there. But it's pretty. It's traditional. It works. I can work with it. Okay, so now we have 2 4 of wands celebrating. I definitely like this one. I like that we have those 4 with the bows around it. Almost looks like a wedding is taking place. Looks more like let's have some fun, unwind, have a little kanuki. Like it feels a little bit more like a Pan's celebration, where this feels more like a traditional, let's stop, let's pause, let's enjoy the moment, and celebrate what has happened. I like the sun in the background too. So I think I'm going to keep that one. Okay, we have 2 5s. Yep, we have 2 5s. So here we have, this to me looks like a 5 of Swords, to be honest. I think Patrick kept this one because these look like they're more at play, but this feels a little bit more competitive. So the 5 of Wands for me are much more to do with sort of competition versus all out battle. And this one on the right very much looks like an all out battle. And I would have put that on the 5 of Swords probably more than I would the 5 of Wands. I could be happy with either. This is I love this art more. This looks more illustrative, almost like in a storybook. I'm going to go with the competition for now. I reserve the right to change my mind at any time. Okay, next up we have 1 6. That's a 7. So we have 1 6 of Wands. Pretty traditional, obviously that kind of coming in, that triumph of what coming in after battle and being seen and recognized for what you have achieved. Pretty traditional 6 of Wands. Not my favorite. Don't hate it either. This I like a lot, but I also really like this. Ooh, look at that. Okay, wait a minute. Are we? That's an 8. Okay. Oh dear. Okay. I like this dress cultural style here. But what I like about this is I do like that taking a stand. I do like that traditional seeing the stabs of the people that you are holding out against. I also like this red haze at the bottom with the wands. So I like this figure more, but I like the composition of this one more. And this sort of coming together of the energies looks a little bit more like an 8 of wand than it does that focusing in of the energy looks more like an 8 than a 7. So I'm going to go with that one like this. So you can see that focusing in of the energy that comes with the 8. Oh, that is so gorgeous. Oh, that's an 8 too. Patrick, I think oh, see, I cannot stand that card. It gives me heebie jeebies. Okay. Patrick says, um, oh, no worries about spell checking. I'm like, were we spell checking? Patrick says the ancient samurai description references the defense from the wands coming from the abyss or the crack in the ground. Yeah, I still like the other one. Okay. This is I'm going to pick this one. So I'm going to say from the get-go that this is just gorgeous. I like the wands coming out of her head, focused energy in the head and then coming outward. But that is really cool. And in terms of directionality of 8 of Wands, I really prefer that movement away and coming to a focus point. So this motion like this for me is much more, for me, really defines the 8 of Wands very well visually. I love decks that do that, but this is super cool. So I'm really just keeping it for the cool factor. That's all right. I can have cool factor reasons. This was one that Patrick and I had looked at this, and I would not have bought. I didn't buy this anyways. This was a birthday present. But when we were looking at to decide, I think when it first came out, I would not have purchased this deck because of this card. I do not like animal bodies and heads like this. Like, it's not even looking like a centaur. I can deal with centaurs and things like that, but this is to me super creepy, and it's just one of those pet peeves of mine. Again, nothing wrong with it. People love stuff like this. I do not. There wasn't an alternative in the regular deck, but in the expansion there is an alternative. So I wouldn't care what was on this card. I would not pick this one. So that was an easy choice, but let's take a look at this one. So this is the 9 of Wands. Again, I really like this, holding the line. We have the staves in the back. We have the dog standing by the side. I quite like that. It's a fine traditional 9 of Wands. And there's not a creepy dog head. But let me just say that if you just buy the deck and not the expansion, you don't have any options here. So just to be clear, the option came with the expansion. No, I would not use a deck with that in there. Okay. So now we have the 10. Again, very traditional. I think it's quite beautiful. I like that they're still moving forward. They're carrying all of the weight and the responsibility and the heaviness of the powerful 10 of Wands, but they are moving forward and they are strong. So that's a great one. I like this page, but I'm not keeping the pages. I am keeping the princesses. So I actually might like that one better. Definitely looks younger. Of course, the princesses aren't supposed to be young in this deck. They're both beautiful, but I'm keeping the princesses to have princess, knight, queen, and king. Oh, there's another page. I really like that one's cool too. Wait, is this not? Did I do this wrong? Okay, there's 3 page of one. Well, either way, I'm keeping the princess, so it doesn't matter. I actually like that one a lot. It looks more like a page. That looks like a warrior. So I don't think that I wouldn't have chosen that anyways. It doesn't look like page energy to me. It looks like a warrior. But I'm keeping the princess. Okay. 2 knights. Ooh, I like the camel. I like the camel. The alternate made me think that maybe it was meant to be the guy and the dog, but like it was part of his soul. Maybe so, but I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it, Mary. Okay. I am definitely keeping this one. I really like the camel here. And I like that there's all the fire around him. This is a cool too. They're both cool, but I like that one. So I'm going to keep that one. Yeah, these are both really cool. So yeah, that's what I'm going to keep. And Patrick said the camel one goes so much more with the page, queen and king energy. Let me just get, wow, I'm doing the princess. But yeah, those really do go quite beautifully together. So anyways, I'm going to keep the camel. But I do think that's a gore. He does look really badass. Okay. So now what are we looking at? Oh, this is the other suit. And these are the extras for the other suit. Okay, so let's talk about extra suits. I don't believe I will keep an extra suit in. Oh, did I miss the queen and king? Okay, sorry. Oops, wait, over here. Oh, that's right, because I wanted to see them together. Okay, sorry. Let's go back here. Thank you, Patrick. Here is the queen. Absolutely beautiful. I love the cat that we see. I like the sunflowers there. I've been really happy with the kings and queens, and he looks very powerful. He looks like a volcano king or something. So you do have a kind of a not you don't have camels in Polynesia. Any of the Polynesia places, right? But it kind of, with minus the camel guy, kind of has that feel. He looks like, like again, some sort of a king of the volcanoes. Is quite powerful. Maybe I should put the horse one in. Does he look more? No, he looks like he's coming in to conquer the Polynesian islands. So no. All right, we're going to stay there. Okay, I am sticking there. The pages, princesses, princes, I just imagine them being like people in the same scene. Like if you expanded the cards, you'd eventually find the other one nearby. Yeah, quite beautiful. Okay, so this is an extra suit of spirit, so to speak. I think these are cool. I've had other decks that do similar things, but I never keep them in. So the idea, I guess I feel like the suit of spirit is the major arcana, right? I'm just processing through my brain. If we have the 4 elements, and then the 5th element would be the major arcana, which have those energies there of spirit and of archetype and of those like larger than self, bigger picture energies are existing in the major arcana. So I don't tend to go, and there are other decks that have like another suit of spirit or ether. It's the celestial substance that connects the different realms of reality, binding all 4 classical elements in a harmonious band. Let's take a look at it. Maybe my mind will be changed. Let's take a look. These are the extra cards. So here we have, but I'm not going to put them in with the 78 yet. I'm going to put them over to the side for a minute. I might change my mind. So I wonder why vessels, though, because we have the suit of cups, which have images of vessels on them, but whatever. Here we have the ace. Again, it looks like a great ace. I guess it would be helpful to, I wonder if I can pull it up, because to be honest, I'm not going to be entirely sure what these are standing for. Ooh, Heather. Heather knows how to talk to me. This suit could be Pullman's dust in his dark materials. Ooh. Okay, let me try to pick the 1 second. Hold the line for a minute. Terra Volatile. I think I just slaughtered that. Here we go. I'm gonna see if because I don't want Patrick is driving. I don't want Patrick to Cup Swans vessels. Um This is being transparent and sealed vases. They depict different kinds of operations and transformations occurring mostly in our inner side. The combination, separations, or other adjustments of the four symbolic elements could be seen through the vessels and felt in different levels within ourselves. Visually, the cards may have the immediate references to the German illuminated text Splendor Solis by Solomon Trismazin. The symbology of most of the cards, however, do not follow the book's sequence or general iconography. We opted to follow different approaches from different alchemical proposals, as well as mythological and psychological perspectives. Okay, so let's just see here. 1 second. Yeah, I just read that, Zach. Hello, hello. Um, Okay, so I just want to get kind of the meanings just so we have an idea. So they're looking at the Ace of Vessels as being major intuition and enlightenment. It's that highest expression of all of the elements combined, I suppose. But like the vessel is sealed to the world, you too need to preserve your light. Um, okay, so then we have I wish you could just scroll through. Oh, next card. That's smart. Thank you. Thank you, website developer. So here we have the two. I'm just going to go down, otherwise we'll be here all night. This is the inner journey, inner balance, and cleansing. We have 2 feet within the vessels here. Let's see, let's zoom in a little bit more. Sorry, since this is not a typical suit that we're normally working with. Let's do that. This is very alchemical here with the white and the red here and the potions that are here. Pretty cool. The Two of Vessels is about the awareness and the need of cleansing. Like this night with both feet in the waters, you find yourself as if you were a bridge, figuring out what you need to purify and find balance. So the only issue I guess that I have so far is that this is kind of this would be what the Temperance card is, right? So this card for me would be similar to the energy of the Temperance card. So, but I do like where it's go. Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah, I'm kind of torn. I do not normally leave extra suits in, but you know, you can always try. This is really gorgeous. 2 scenes are displayed in the card. Again, I don't want to read all this because we'll be here forever. Meet your shadow, introspection, find your potential. So this is about going into the shadows. I will definitely, you try to keep your darkest portrait buried 6 feet under. Oh. We're definitely like down in the caves here, which is interesting. I'm not sure. I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to definitely have to read the full write-ups to see. Definitely has like that alchemical. If you have read Discovery of Witches or watching the TV show, which is okay, but again, I don't like the 2 main characters in the TV show, but the book is better. But it's kind of like the Book of Life and that sort of alchemical search that they're going on for that. It kind of has that vibe as well. All right, let's go on to the 4. Oh, wait, when's the first? Okay, 5 is the first alternate card. Okay. So, oh, go back. Wait, this is a 5? No, this is a 4. Okay, this is a 4. Shows us an angel that offers comfort to a dark skeletal man emerging from the swamp. So now we have a zombie. Emotional purge, a new chapter, emotional transition. By letting the king drown in the sea, you're experiencing a necessary emotional purge. And then, of course, it's going to rise up renewed and maybe, oh dear. I was going to say maybe he becomes whole, but if he I don't think that's the case. Okay, so that's what we have there. Okay, so now we have 5. Sorry, I cannot see chat right now because I'm trying to look at these. Okay, so here we have the 5. Exhibits an image of a man cut in pieces while another character holds his severed head. We cannot speak of this theme without mentioning the concept of the ego death. Separation, changing your patterns, rediscovery. I don't know if I'm a fan of that. I definitely like this imagery better. So if I were to keep the vessels in, I would keep this one. She looks really powerful. We have that Kali image that goes with the 5, that kind of shake up, that chaotic, destructive creation that would be there. So I would keep this in versus the other one if I was keeping this suit. So then we don't have another one till 9. Okay, so then we have the 6. Symbology, we can see a naked man taking a hot bath while a white bird emerges from. Definitely a lot of alchemical. He very much is a shaman. A shaman is someone who takes you into a spiritual world, cuts you up into little pieces, glues you back together. This reminds me, for those of us who we read what book those of us, we took a class where we reread the Way of Weird, and there was that scene where in the shamanic journey he comes out and he's in with the dwarf under the mountain who takes him apart and puts him back together again. That's kind of the concept of this card. Kind of cool. Okay, I gotcha. Here we have 7. All right, let me go to the next one. Sorry, there's a lot of text here, so if you're interested, go to the website. There's a lot there. I'm just not going to read it all. Depicts 3 birds fighting in midair. This aerial conflict lets us know the struggle is not terrestrial. It's moved upwards. The different color birds mean different things, so the red bird has an important role. The white and the black stand for contraries that need to be combined to unlock the hidden mysteries. So this is about reintegrating. So feelings have been all split apart, and now you have to recombine those energies there, which they're kind of doing here, I guess, tying them together. So here we have the 8 of vessels. Again, if you're coming in, this is not the suit of cups. This is another suit. Previous cards started a process of integration with the 3 pieces. The 8 pulls those pieces together. The pieces are fitted together. Overconfidence, internal conflict, because they're just tied together. They haven't really integrated here, is what it looks like to me. There. Now the 9. Oops. Oh no, I'm putting these in the wrong. Okay. We have 2 different 9s. I really like this, although I do like the 2-headed dog as well. But that one's eating the moon. That is interesting. Let's see what it says. Mary says the 9 of vessels, the moon is like, this is fine, like that dog in the moon in the room of fire. Yes. Okay. Let's go to the 9. Sorry, folks, but I want to see what these are because I have no clue whether. The main figure is a 3-headed creature that resembles a chimera or chimera. In Western tradition, the chimera is usually described as a symbol of nightmarish nature. For the Chinese, however, the chimera appears as a benevolent symbol of serenity and prosperity. So what's the key? Accept who you are, reconciliation. This looks much more to me like that than eating the moon. So I would pick this one over that one. Okay, so then we have the 10. And the 10, the peaceful atmosphere, obviously everything has come together. In alchemy, this is the climax of the alchemical work. I think they even talk about the marriage in alchemical processes. Um, Communication, reintegration with others, and a new self is here. So that is with the 10. And then, of course, we have the Page of Vessels. I am keeping the princesses. So if I were to keep this deck, I would keep the princess. Oh, sorry. Princess. Yeah. Princess here. Page there. Here we just have one knight. So here we have the Knight of Vessels, really gorgeous. Queen of Vessels, also very gorgeous. Seems like the highest self and the highest masculine self. So definitely has that divine feminine and divine masculine feel there. I really love her, kind of Joan of Arc feel there. So that is the suit of Vessels. That is an extra suit. And the ones that I would keep, but I want to shuffle this without any of those extra cards first. So let me zoom this out. All right, we've got piles here. And then, oh, I'm sorry, and I zoomed out. You also have a yes and a no, and then a card that says you are making the wrong questions. So it's kind of that yes, no, and maybe, or rephrase the question that you get in pendulum work. I do think these are cool. These show up in other decks as well. I don't think that I would put these in, because if I were to have a yes and no question, I'd grab a deck of cards or roll my yes and no bones or something else. I wouldn't want just yes or no to come up in a deck randomly. So I think those are cool, but they're not ones I usually put in. So this pile here are ones that I have a very strong temptation to add in. I have Rebirth in here right now, and I'm really tempted to have Death separate. And then we have Light and Shadow of Death, the ending and the completion phase, and then also the rebirth, but separated out so that you're not even questioning whether this is death or rebirth. I'm really tempted to do that. And I'm right now have the Fooless in. And I like the idea of being able to have significator cards. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to at least try these in for a while. These are cards that I thought were pretty cool. I didn't see all of the virtues. I'll have to look again. I did put in the other Hermit. I think these I'm not going to put in. I do like those cards. Okay. So these are all of the extra cards. Now, again, this is between the original deck, which had extra cards, and also the expansion. So that's all of the extra cards there. Of course, this is the extra suit. So I'm not going to put that into here. All right, so let's give this a shuffle. I'm putting these in. I'm going to put those in. Now, again, oh yeah, this is that cardstock that is, again, very similar to, see how much that can bend and flex. This has a black core in it, which allows for the images to be really vibrant and have depth. But it makes for a absolutely gorgeous shuffle, like that version of the Victorian Romantic that was in another language. I almost want to say it wasn't Polish. I can't remember what the other language was, but it wasn't in English. And it's one of the best card stocks, and it bends like that. That has really fantastic. Now, this would be hard. This does come in a thicker card stock, but I would have a real difficult time with that. I agree, Seaside Tarot. Let me see. In person, there are darker cards. Some of that could just be my camera. But there are some of the really dark cards. But I would say as a whole in person, they don't feel like that card. You definitely have to look. Some of them, the darker cards could have maybe been brought up a notch. I just love that card. All right, let's see what this looks like in a spread. Oh, that was exhausting. I am sure that there are other choices that everybody would have made besides the ones that I made. But I just thought it would be fun to take a look at this together and see what I would choose and why I would choose it, I guess. It does have a little bit of that clicky ness that comes in sometimes with certain kinds of decks, but not because it's the linen and it's so soft. It doesn't have the same feel as some of those clicky decks that are more of the smooth cardstock, and they're not so fun to shuffle. This doesn't have that because it's so flexible. Yeah, this is an absolute, if you're a riffle shuffler, this is about perfection. All right, let's just see. I don't know if I even showed the backs. The backs are really cool. They look very alchemical, really gorgeous. All right, I don't know why I'm spending a lot of time shuffling. I just want to see what they look like on the table. I don't know why I put that up there. Let's put that over here. Put that over here. Oh, I love that card. I know you can't see it because my head's in the way. Let's see. I guess we can try to move it over so you can see it a little bit better. You know, it definitely has the, you know, feel of, say, something like the Victorian Romantic or the Terra Prague. It's absolutely stunning. It does have a very kind of neutral energy to it. I know Patrick and I were talking about that a little bit. Although I would say that more in the Somnia Tarot than this one. It does have a very, these are new art pieces, but it does have a feel of, like I said, I would closely associate this with sort of the vibe that you get with Victorian Romantic, which, except for it's different art, but it has that sort of feel, this sort of old age, beautiful artwork. It looks really gorgeous in person. I am really excited to work with it. This is definitely a deck I would utilize for clients or for myself. I think the imagery is very clear of what it is. Yeah, this is really beautiful. And you just have, okay, now I gotta, oh dear. Yeah, that was the Empress I picked. Okay. Yeah, kind of pagan otherworlds mixed with Victorian romantic and a splash of darkness of light. That definitely that makes sense. Yes. Pagan otherworld, but more fleshed out, because obviously pagan otherworlds is a pip style deck. So it has that feel of pagan otherworld, but mixed with Victorian romantic. It's that classic sense of darkness of light. It's its own thing, but it's got a really good, it's got a varying of color palettes, but they all do mesh really well. It doesn't feel like, I just love that pentacles. Yeah, it's definitely not, it's not all of them at all are not dark. There's a nice spectrum of colors, and they really, even as they move from dark to light, they feel very integrated. They don't feel like that doesn't feel like it's something from a different deck. The only card that I got that sense from, well, that one I'm not a fan of, and it doesn't feel like the rest of the deck. And that one that was Dream, I didn't really feel like that one. It seems like that's from an entirely different deck. It doesn't really seem like it's from the same deck. But other than that, I feel like all of the images are quite cohesive. And I quite like that movement of dark to light. So then the question is, would I shuffle this in? I don't think so. It's cool, but if I shuffled this in, it would make it, I'm thinking through. If I shuffled this in, it would make it something that I wouldn't use for clients, right? And a lot of my readings are done with clients, and so I wouldn't use this extra suit with clients because there is that sort of expectation. You're using a tarot deck, and this is a whole nother suit. So I don't think, and at least I would have to get really, really comfortable with these coming up, which wouldn't be hard. It's only 14 cards. But it's cool. But I don't think I would put that into the deck itself. For me, again, everybody, but I don't want it to get mixed up into the other one, so I think I'll go like that. You can see the difference with the coloration a little bit on that one. I don't know why. Maybe just because I have it flipped around. But you can see the coloration of that is a little bit whiter. Okay, so those, look at how many there are. Especially if you take that suit out, you have almost the same amount of cards that you're not using. Would it be just too much just to combine the expansion and the main deck? I mean, you certainly could. I would not, because you're going to have, there are a lot of duplicate cards here. Like there are duplicate, you know, of the minors and things like that. So if it was the majors, yes, because the majors, when there are extra, they're actually titled separately something else. But with the minors, you could just have like three, you know, not three. I think most of the minors there were two, but you could have like two or three. Actually, there are 3 2 of cups, and you could have, you know, 3 4 of cups or whatever. I don't think that would be really useful in a reading. You could take out the extra majors though and shuffle them all in if you want. I mean, you can do anything you want. It's your deck. But I would not do that because of all the duplicates that you would get. Except for the majors, I think that would be something viable. I think if you had a reading where you wanted to get a pulse on the question, you could pull deliberately from that suit. Or you could, you could also do the reading, and instead of a oracle card, you could pull from that suit about, okay, where are things at in the alchemical process? What still needs to be done as you walk away from the reading? I could see using that alternate suit for something like that as well. So yeah. I do think there's a way. I wonder if this, let me do something. Let me take these out. I wonder if these would all fit into the box. Let's see. Sorry, folks, we're playing. I saw another question about what type. Okay, Well-Tempered Claire said, what type of readings? I would use these for regular tarot readings. Like for me, anywhere I would use a tarot deck, especially where I would use Darkness of Light, which I often use in my past life readings. But just like in a 9-card general readings that I do, I would use this as general readings. Where I use romantic tarot, Victorian romantic is generally in like my astrology, where you're checking in on all the houses. But I would use this on extra, or any deck, any reading that is a tarot reading, a straight tarot reading, I would use this deck. Poof. That's a complicated question to a simple, or answer to a simple question. What I want to see is if, so I can fit all those in there. And with the extra suit, what is my phone is just blowing up? My sisters. Okay. My sisters and my mom and I and everybody have a group chat, and they're obviously talking about something. So yes, I would, I'm glad that fits in there, because then, and what I might do, because I will probably edge this to this color if I can find that color, and might leave this unedged so that it's really obvious where that extra suit is, as well there. Or you know what you could also do to make it really easy is stick this in. Sorry, now we're just playing around. Now we're just playing. Then I would put this one on top of there. And that way, when I go to open the box of the deck and pull up the cards, it is leaving that suit behind. Okay. What would you have called the extra suit of vessels if you could name it? Well, it's not so much the name that I have an issue with. It's more the symbols of being the vessels, just because we have a suit that is very much associated with vessels. In fact, the suit of cups, often there are decks that call the suit of cups vessels. So but it is different. These are open-ended cups and these are closed vessels, more like alchemical bottles, or I think about like in the Cosmovision's Terra with that sealed vessel in the major arcana. It feels more like that. So I think it works. It's just that because it's so close to something that people already rename the cups sometimes, the suit of vessels. So that's my only thing. I mean, again, it's not my deck and I don't have a big problem with it. I just think it could get confusing when you're so used to doing a reading and you have a vessel card come up. I could see if you had them all mixed in, your brain just might go to, oh yeah, there's the Three of Cups, and kind of roll with it as you're getting comfortable with it. But any deck, once you get comfortable with how they've done it, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Okay. Kelly, I think we're ready for Somnia. I don't think anyone will stay with me, and I will be doing the Somnia review all by myself is what will happen. Terra Volatile, I want to keep that. I don't need to keep this. Well, thank you, Mr. Patrick, for my birthday present. I think it was well worth the wait. Kind of stinks because obviously I don't know what we're going to do with these extra cards. They don't fit. Oh, can I squeeze them in here? No, you cannot. Oh, can I try? I'm never going to get, oh, no, I don't think so. I don't want those in here. I really would like to just keep the ones I chose in there, but no, that's not going to go in there. I'm not going to force it. So that's kind of awkward because, like, what do you do with those? But that's not my problem. It's not my problem. I'm going to keep the ones that I would actually want access to. Okay. I hope that you have enjoyed this as much as I did. I really didn't want to do that by myself. Amazing Crystal. I haven't put it down until I started doing this. I don't know. I don't think I would put this in an extras bag. I don't think it's worthy of, I wouldn't want to have two separate bags for it. So I'm probably just going to find like a box to put this in and put it in, my under the bed collection, and then just keep this out is probably what I'll do. Or just like put this into a bag, like a extra bag, like a more top bag, versus having a fitted bag made for it, because this could change in size depending on what you put in and out. I feel as if you don't want to be too fresh. I don't feel fresh. I'm happy to do this. Let me make sure there's nothing here calling at me before I say that. I've got people texting me. And I missed a phone call. No, I think I'm going to, let me make a phone call. Maybe I'll come back on. I'm going to stand up, go to the bathroom, check some messages, and then I'm going to maybe come back. Give me 2 seconds to sort of reset. Would you cover them over and make them an oracle? You could. I wouldn't, because I might want to switch some of these out. So I don't think I would. I think I would just keep them for if I wanted to switch them out. So I'm going to, well, either way, I'm going to stop this video because this is a video for the Terra Volatile. So let me do that. Give me 10 minutes or so. And if I'm not going to come back on, which I think I will put a message on here, but let's me go stretch my legs. I also already taught, so I've already spoken for 3+ hours today and then just did 2 hours. So um, let me stretch, get a refresh of a drink, go to the bathroom, reply to some messages, and we'll see. We'll do that. We'll do that. Thank you all for playing around with me for this one, and possibly I'll see you shortly. Thank you.